I chose for it to be this way. Okay, fine.
Maybe it's upside down. Maybe it should be like that.
No, it's wanting me to be like. Hi guys.
Hey up.
That's what you get when you start early.
Hey. We're live and spinning.
I've been spinning. Sorry if I'm making you feel sick right now. There's a lot going
Are
on.
we settled?
We're settled.
Excellent. Well, I've got a full screen. I'm trying to look at the chat. Let's do that. Hello. Do you want me to sit in the middle?
We can do. Put it to the side.
Or you come in this side? I can come any side. Whichever.
You got a good side? I have a good side.
What, is you're going to go there?
Yeah. Just make sure I'm in it. Hello to Kat and hello to Mark. Happy New Year and Christmas. Did you all have a good Christmas? Is that a drink holder?
Yeah.
That's well clever. I don't know if you can see that. That's well good.
You want to move it so it's not in your way?
I feel like holding my bum.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Hello.
Hey. Hello. You can see our own breath, that's how cold it is tonight.
Yeah, don't worry, we're not smoking the devil's lettuce. It's just a little chilly tonight.
Yeah,
So-
our New Year's resolution is to get on drugs.
We've changed the platform completely. It's about ruining your life. We've got 1 year. Speed run ruining your life.
Yeah, how many ways can we do that?
I don't think we could disappoint actually. I think between us we could figure out some.
I've got a lot of practice.
That's what I mean. Our history tells that like it could be done, but is it going to be? No. This is the year of change. This is the year of better happenings, if that's a word.
I'm just suddenly thinking, do you think the whatchamacallit's alright?
Can you hear this?
Oh yeah. I can hear us, it's fine.
I'm glad you did. You got a headache at the start from all the twisting,
I
and then
just
you're
don't
like,
know
I
where
can't
the
even hear.
chat's gone. I've got it on my phone so that we can keep up with the chat.
Chat is. Oh, 1 second.
Where are you? Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Hey. And we've got someone called Logan in the chat as well. So.
Shout out, Logan. I'm imagining that's not
Oh,
Anna's Logan.
I know, I thought that. And we have Lou. Good evening.
Hello, Lou. Good evening to you.
I'm trying to keep up with everybody. It's a very active chat this evening, which is great.
I love it.
The first podcast of 2025.
I'm just thinking, if people are tuning in, they're like, where are these people? You said live from a bus. What bus? What do you mean? This is the Arriva 127 that goes from Leicester to Loughborough every 10-20 minutes. No, for real. Where are we right now?
This is my tiny home on wheels.
Not so tiny home. It's a double-decker.
my double decker home.
It's incredible. You've been doing this for...
About 18 months now. Well, getting on for 18 months.
And it's close to completion.
Yeah. I'm moving in this weekend. You heard it here first. That's the.
Wait, is that breaking news?
It is
that like...
breaking news because I alluded to something on TikTok 2 days ago that I was making an announcement.
Did anyone guess it? Did anyone?
Kat mentioned something in the comments about what day's moving in day, so she obviously guessed.
She's tuning
where
in.
I was going with it. But yeah, moving in day officially is Saturday. So
that's so fun.
Another end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter.
Oh, I like that.
But
that's
I mean,
what this year's about, right? That's what we're doing. At least the start.
Well, as you can see though, I mean, next week's meant to be really, really cold, and although the log fire's burning downstairs, up here we're not feeling the warmth, are we? So it's going to be an interesting winter.
It's hard to judge, isn't it? Because right now you've been doing a lot of work, which means the doors are open a bit. It's not like it's not how you would be living in it.
Yeah. Where the warmth is like catching up on itself, type of thing. Definitely. I've not taken my coat off all day or this hat, and I feel a bit. I've been working up here all day. Steph's come to meet me up here, And I feel a little bit grubby, you know, like I'd got my makeup in my bag, I'd got a change of clothes, but because it is so cold, I just wasn't feeling getting changed or anything, so apologies.
I think it's a good point to do, because I was watching someone talk about social media and about how, you know, they post these Christmas pictures or like just general throughout the year,
Yeah.
these influencers showing you this like, everything is staged in these pictures down to like how they smile or what they're wearing, the colours of the people wearing what they're wearing around them.
Yeah.
For an Instagram picture, so much effort goes into the BS, and you get taken away like, oh, I wanted to wear this nice outfit, or for New Year's Eve, but my partner's got a cold and we're not going out, and it changes your plans, and it kind of makes you feel like, oh. And I think we need to take more of a, we don't need perfectionism, we know that already.
Yeah.
So why are we trying to put that on our lives and our events that we go to? Like,
We've always been authentic though, haven't we? We've always tried to display that this is normal life. We just kind of are going for it. You know, we're just making the most of every opportunity we get.
I'd love to prove to people that you don't have to be this like fine-tuned perfection idea of a person to be a good influencer of people. When I mean influencer, I don't mean sell you products. I mean help you with your life. That's what we like to do. That's my passion. That's Lindsay's passion.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I've had a lot of people comment on my stuff this last week, like, you're so inspiring, blah, blah. But I think they genuinely mean it. You know, like, I don't think they're just saying it to kind of blow smoke up my arse. I think that over these last few years, I genuinely have motivated people to look at their lifestyle, to question what changes they can realistically make and stuff like that. So
definitely. Actually, a good one that you've done to start my year off. I brought the book literally to show people as well.
Oh, wicked. Lou also got a copy of this, so
Nearly not completely fell off.
If you're there, Lou, obviously you got the Divine Guidance book as well, and my main reason for buying it for Steph and for Lou was to help them connect with their inner wisdom that they've already got already, and not double question themselves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, ask a question, find the answer, and feel. As human beings, you feel like you need to see proof sometimes that your own thought isn't enough. It's like,
me and Lou are a little more pessimistic compared to you, aren't you? When it comes to this kind of, it's just kind of like, nah, it's a nice idea, but realistically, I'm stressed, right? I just need to carry on. And she's going, that's the point. If you just do this thing, then you won't have the stress. And you're just going, yeah, whatever, Lindsay. I'm just busy right now. Just like, oh god. But like, I received this book amongst many presents, and I was like, Divine Guidance, like, okay, that's a Lindsay book. And I just flipped through a little bit, and there's a load of different, like, just little excerpts of writing, different, like, just short, very short sentences. And they're all, like, they're very nice words. I mean, they definitely say things like, life needs you just as you need it. Pick up your potential and work with it, which is a lovely message. But I was like, what's the point? I don't really know, but like, it's a bit vague, I don't really know. And then the next sentence doesn't really have anything to do with that. And I was like, it's kind of the most ADHD book I've ever read. Just really like, and then I read the first frigging page. Shout out to my ADHDers that miss.
Yeah, I do that. I
Detention.
always open a book and just start randomly reading it.
And it explains that this is a way of you connecting with your, whether you consider it your spirit guide, your greater connection with the universe, the things that, you know, the thing that helps you make decisions. A lot of people have, it could be God, literally throwing your problems and your worries and your questions to God and letting it come back to you. As a non-religious person, I was like, but understanding that this idea that I have the answers within me, and that I can flip through this book, and maybe I do have this spirit guide that is looking out for me. I was like, let's give her a whirl. And I'm not even joking. I won't go into detail of what happened, but I was just like, yeah, okay, doing what the book says. And I literally was like, oh my god. Oh my god, that's too real. Like.
Do you know what I really love about this though, is that I'm a massive believer in trusting the process, and that, you know, knowing that the right answers will come to us and things like that. And obviously you've had these experiences that have reinforced that, where it's like, okay, you know, maybe I can use this tool to help me with my decision making. But then Steph from the Afters, shout out Steph, she came to stay on the bus, didn't she, in October of last year? That's a bit
My
weird.
God, that time's gone so fast.
Yeah, and we used the She Sirens cards, and it was the first time she'd ever really like done a reading or just given herself a reading where you just shuffle the cards, you ask a question, you just pull a card, and that's your answer. And it blew her mind, didn't it? It was exactly what she needed at that point, and she has since been in touch to ask what pack that was and ordered herself some, the same ones, and again asked it a question, and it was exactly what she needed. And it makes me feel so warm inside, because I trust that it is going to be exactly what you need to hear, and you can call it whatever you want, whether it's coincidence, I don't care. It works. You know?
Whether it's just taking the load off, like, I don't care what's behind this, the theory behind it. If I just can't be asked to make a decision today, like, right, what should I do? Okay, simple. The future is not written. Damn, that's for sure. Okay.
Well, that's the thing in it. I think, especially thinking of you and Lou here as well, say if you needed to make a decision that perhaps was going to be the right decision for you and not necessarily the decision other people would want you to make, you know, a bit of a people-pleasing kind of dilemma or whatever, that book is going to be really helpful there, because it almost takes it out of your hands, even though it's still in your hands, and says, this is what you should do, and it's like, oh, okay, well, the book told me to do that, so this is what I need to do.
And if you think, well, like, it's all written in a certain way that you can take any measure for it. Like, some of them are literally like, leave it alone. It will come to you if it needs to. And some are like, work at it. If you really want this, like, work at it. And some of it's there's no, it's very fun. It's very interesting. And I'm looking forward to this year already. It's a good time to open it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that that you've kind of understood the reasoning behind it, you know what I mean?
It took a few days.
But I wasn't there to explain. So.
That's what you said, wasn't it? I was like, I thought I'd be there to explain how you use this book.
And why I'd bought it for you. You might be a bit like, it's a bit random. When I was younger though, slightly off topic, but when I was younger, my grandma had this little box, and it had Bible extracts in it, rolled up like scrolls.
Okay,
it's where I got the inspiration to make mine, with the little rolled up scrolls that you pulled out, and they had little affirmations on. And I'd be younger, like really young, and you know when you're always looking for something to entertain yourself when you're at grandparents' houses or whatever. And I used to get this box out, and I'd be worrying about something, or I'd ask it a question, and it would always give me the reassurance that I needed. So that was my first kind of introduction to that kind of thing, and that was Bible extracts, but the concept was the same, that, you know, you're asking for that guidance and you're being given it.
Yeah. And, you know, for the ADHD brain, I think it's got the right amount of novelty to be like, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's why I like my life to be. I don't like knowing exactly what's going to happen, which is weird because I don't like change.
This is where autism and ADHD collide. This is why it's so much fun being both.
It's more like, don't change my nice schedule, my nice routine that I like. But when it comes to like, I'm bored of that routine, it would be nice to shake it up a bit with a bit of a natural disaster or something, which is just bizarre.
So you're a different resolution then?
Oh!
What have you got any ideas for this month? What are you, so flash the book, mine's over there behind the...
Do you know what, actually, last year, if you joined us last year and this has changed your life, please comment down below. Yeah. Let us know how it's done, because my year changed from it. I'm just so excited to get notes for the ones for this year.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like being able to look back over it, you're like, oh my God, I tried so many things because I was purposely trying to complete these these little tasks.
Yeah, and there's bits where I'm like, I can see where I've written it quick, but I've just been like, I wanted to get it down there just so that I could, and some bits I'm like, really trying to read it back because it's like scribbled everywhere, but I'm like, oh my God. And I went through that one with Kat. I don't think I've
with the skating. Yeah, it's cool. That is.
So I was looking at like what to do for this year, and this is this year's book. The website is in the description below already, because somehow I'm on it this year so far, day 2.
No, we're starting as we need to go on.
As we need to go on.
No makeup, like no change of clothes.
I've got a full face of makeup, but don't worry about that. That's never going to change. 2025 new resolution book. I am so excited. So the first one that I want to do, it's a 2-parter. It leads on to February. I'm so excited. Calm down.
I love it.
Okay. So the first one, I'm going to do the 3 shockers.
Can I remind myself of what the things are?
Please, yeah. So the first one I'm going to do with a purpose.
Oh, nice.
It's the 3 shockers, and basically it's a theory that if you put your brain in a certain state, your body in a certain state, it shocks your brain to a point that it helps create neural pathways that are healthy.
Oh, okay.
So, and it helps with the hippocampus, so that's memory, recall, all these things that I really struggle with in my ADHD life. So a way that you can improve this and improve growth of these neural pathways is these 3 shockers, and one is ending the shower with a cold flower, just enough to...
It really does boost your mood, that does.
Yeah, it literally, it gives you that shock, doesn't it? Like, oh God, I'm not comfortable. What is this? I'm the opposite.
But then after you're like, "Rah!"
Let's complete anything. The second one is fasting. So eat like a king at breakfast, a queen at lunch, as they say, and then nothing else for the rest of the day. That's going to be a struggle for me because I don't eat breakfast often. I more of eat a lunch, have some dinner, and then I fast the other way. But apparently that's not really the way.
Yeah, see, I tend to fast from about 9 at night until about 3, 4 the next day to get my 16 hours in.
That's basically what I do. But apparently I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to try eating a load at breakfast, a moderate lunch, and then nothing for the rest of the day. And I'm going to be like, screwing, I know I am. But that's the point, right? My body is not comfortable. And the third one is a 20-minute HIIT exercise. Cool. High intense therapy. Just to give it that. And it shocks the body. So by the end of this month, I can see what the difference is. Yeah, yeah. And if I can see that it's helped improve, my February goal is to see how much sign language I can learn in a month.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
I feel like it could be quite fun if we're making content. I could sign at the same time and include people. I feel like that's really fun. And
that's a nice one.
But I don't know how to do that with a terrible hippocampus. So I'll do some
start with it.
Yeah, definitely.
High intensity training though, that's really so good for the ADHD brain, but also good for us because you can't be asked to work out sometimes, can you? But doing a HIIT session can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's it. But it can actually get you into shape. I mean, I tend to do 20 minutes workout most mornings, so it's like, but it's not necessarily high intensity. It's just some weights and stuff. So
I'm not athletically minded. I never have been, and I take my hat off to anyone that can go to a gym and do 40 minutes on this and another 40 minutes on that. For me, mentally, I give up way before my body does. I'm not that fit, like bodily wise, but my mind's like, I'm bored. I don't want to be doing this. Yeah. And it gets like, I'm like, I don't want to do this. What's the point? Being fat's alright, I suppose, and you convince yourself like, I'm just getting off.
But again, that's because getting into the uncomfortable state is but it's easy to stay comfortable, isn't it?
Not enough discomfort, with a HIIT exercise. You're going full pelt and you're not even thinking about whether I should be doing this. I'm just trying to make it to 30 seconds. And you're like, I'm going to pass out. You're like, no, I'm fine. And you're like, then I get to chill. And it's like, I get that little reward in between, which my brain loves. Give me them little breaks and rewards.
It's like, I enjoy running around the streets and stuff like that, but then running on a treadmill, to bring my mind away from that time just counting, it's so hard. Even to the point where when I used to go running around Anstey, it'd be like, I'd know when I get to that tree I've done 3 miles, and so I'd have to start changing up my routine, because then I'd be like, oh, you're still 10 minutes off 3 miles because you've not got to that point yet. And I'd know like, my brain works quite mathematically, where it's like boom boom boom, and I don't know, it's just too logical in that sense, where I'll know how long I've got till the next bit, so I'm already can't be bothered because I'm like, oh, you've got ages till. So I have to constantly keep hacking my own brain to keep at it.
That's the thing, isn't it, with the ADHD? It is a constant hacking. Yeah. Like, oh, I fixed it. Rest of my life, I'm done. Like, it's a constant
I fixed it for a week. Then I would have to find another way round it.
Oh, hold on that. Raise your hands if you think you've killed your ADHD once because you're hyper-focused on something.
Oh my God. So sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm cured. And then it's like...
I just like cleaning for a week.
Well, it's like round here as well. Obviously, moving in, it's going to be a new area. I'm going to get to explore it. But once that shine's been took off, I know what's in that direction. I know what's in that. I know how many miles it is in that direction. Do you see what I mean? It'll be like,
yeah, it reminds me of when you're a kid and you first like you venture outside your house and all you know is your front road and then where your mum takes you in the car and then you can venture off. I'm allowed to cross roads now and you can start. And then you're like, I know this whole council estate now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
bored now. I miss being like, ooh, what's around this corner?
So I've got something to tell you about. I've been waiting
I'm
till we're
excited.
live on. Like, well, I probably wouldn't be excited. I've been waiting till we're live on air so that everyone gets your reaction.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
Oh God. Right. I took the liberty of booking us on something. But yeah, I wouldn't get excited.
Wait, that sounds like something to get excited for.
No, to be fair, hopefully you will be excited. But if not, then I'll be doing a shout out for someone to join me live on air.
Oh my God. Not your typical 5k. Like I've ever done a 5k.
So, obviously,
My heart's going. God damn it.
my mum was like, what are you going to do? She says no. I was like, then do a shout out for a partner. I was like, and this is the thing, I don't want you to feel like you've got to, you haven't got to.
No,
but-
you know I'm like, can you put it in front of me? I want to... It's not someone chasing me dressed up as Jack the Ripper. That I would say a definite no to. This I've always wanted to do.
I was hoping that this would be a positive surprise.
So unfit.
So, for those that can't see on the camera, I can't leave that like that. It won't stay on. It's a Tough Mudder, and I've done loads of these different types before, but I've never done a Tough Mudder. So, it kind of all aligned for me when I ended up Googling, are there any 5k obstacle events in the Midlands in the summer?
It's in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay, I got time.
Yeah, you've got this July.
Summer body ready.
Yeah, it's July, so you've got 6 months to...
My birthday's in July. You're so evil.
Oh my God.
Is it
It's
all
actually-
my birthday?
It's your birthday weekend.
Is it really?
I thought it was the 12th, which Mum was like,
hilarious.
that's your nephew's first birthday. And I was like, oh God, but it's not, it's the 6th, so it's...
So happy birthday, Steph.
Sorry, like this just gets better and better, doesn't it? But it is July, which obviously is
Yeah.
better because hopefully it's not going to be horrible weather.
Cold ass mud have been.
And it's at Belvoir
Beaver Castle.
Yeah, Beaver Castle. So it's like 40 minutes away. So it all kind of aligned. And the Tough Mudder I've never done. So I was like, oh my God. But then I started looking at the obstacles after I'd already booked it and then was like, I'm not sure I want to do that.
I'm not gonna lie. One of the first pictures is just that net.
Big net.
I've watched so many, videos of people doing it. I've never seen one that high.
Well, that's the least of your worries, really. When you look through
That's a
these
cakewalk,
obstacles,
is it? No,
yeah,
it's
I was gonna
okay. I don't.
That's,
I'm an idiot.
say. That's
What
it's
was
the
that?
Yeah, that's the one that I was like.
You can't. It's just a gif of a man drowning. I don't think this is an obstacle. This
I
is
know.
just.
This is why I've told you live on air because I was like, then she can't start beating me up. Like, why have you done this? This isn't
Oh
isn't
my
cool.
God. We're,
But-
we're doing it, but we're strapping GoPros to it. That's the only way that.
You can.
Content.
I'm sure you can walk around any obstacle that you're totally not feeling. So like if there was anything that you absolutely didn't want to do, look, electric wires hanging down. Like I was looking through them, like
That was kind of fun.
what the actual hell? Yeah. And the reason I've always wanted to do the Tough Mudder is it kind of is one of the original. Back in the day, it was one of the first original ones.
Yeah.
It was always renowned as one of the really tough ones because of the electric shocks and the fire,
The drowning.
drowning, yeah, and all of those kind of things. But I've just never done this. I've done loads of different ones, so I thought, oh my God, it's all perfectly aligned for us to do this.
There's one where you jump onto like a monkey bar that moves, and then you land in some like very dirty water. But these people are just disappearing. It's not like hip pipe. Like, these grown men going. Oh my word!
I know.
It's called electroshock therapy. The nerve of them.
Like I say, I'm glad that I had actually already booked it before.
Oh, one's called Everest.
Crybaby is tear gas.
That'll be.
That after I'd already booked it, paid for it and everything, I was like, oh my god. I don't know if I'd have booked it if I'd have looked at the obstacles first. I know,
Just the name of that is evil. Pyramid scheme.
And they just don't get involved. I mean, a lot of these as well.
Yeah, we got to get people to help.
Yeah, they require everybody helping each other, and it's like, you know, part of it is feeling like you're part of this team. But I think because as it's 5k, it's 12 obstacles, so it won't be all of these. It'll be 12 of these.
Okay.
And then the 10k, I think, is
right,
even
okay.
more obstacles. You're like, pray that these certain ones aren't in it.
Yeah, no, why is it, I'm like willing to, I'd rather get electrocuted than Augustus Gloop, whatever that challenge is. It just, didn't he die in chocolate?
I hope it is chocolate.
Augustus Gloop. I think it's mud. Oh my, tear gas? Do I have to sign a waiver in case I like to actually pass away? Shawshank, the names of these places.
Electric eel.
What, I mean, so there's 2 electric things.
Yeah, I don't think I got this far down. I think I just freaked out. I was like, oh god, I'll pretend that this isn't happening.
I don't know how well you can see this, but look at this stupid cow smiling. I don't know, can you see that?
It will show up in a sec.
It's called Kiss of Mud. That's one of the nicest.
Because we're on the time lapse, it's not gone to the screen yet.
I don't need to stand there so you get it, because it's no longer.
So anybody that wants to join us, you certainly can. Kat's on here saying, can I, oh here we go, there's the screen, yeah, and you can see. Can I join? Yes, you certainly can. I mean, the more of us that are in this team, the more motivated we're going to be to do it, right?
Yeah, I just looked at that pyramid scheme and we're going to need a lot of people to get over that thing and make some money. Then we can rug pull and ditch everyone else.
I mean, the good thing is, you're not going to be running solidly for 5k, which is only 3 miles, because...
I can't do that anyway.
But the thing, it's going to be broken up with obstacles, so there's never these like long periods of running, if you see what I mean. Any of the obstacles you can just scoot around the side, but I guarantee that you won't want to anyway. You know, when you're in the midst of it, it's like you get caught up in that energy of wanting to complete it, kind of thing.
Oh god, yeah. There's no turning back.
And
I just got electrocuted and Shawshank.
tear gassed.
They're just being shot out of some tunnels. Oh, Shawshank. They're very well named, but they are evil. The last one says it's called Wall of Heroes. I feel like that's... Don't trust the name of that. It sounds friendlier. I don't think it's going to be. Oh, cheers, mate. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, like, do you
Happy
hate
birthday.
me? Yeah.
No, I don't. I like, because I would have never booked it for myself. But the fact you have, I was like, okay, I've always wanted to do it, but okay.
Well, this is the thing. I did it on almost like an impulsive thing, and then was like, oh my god, what have I done? Like, even myself, because every year I used to book something like this so that I had something to train towards and something to focus my mind. And then last year, the year before, I had enough of them, so I went sober. Now, because I've like quit booze, quit smoking, I'm back on the thrill seeking. It's like, okay, let's do a race. I've forgotten how much I hate them. Let's do it again. But to be honest, the only thing I dislike is that getting wet. But when I'm wet, I'm okay with it. It's the anticipation of getting wet.
I'm hoping that July, I'm hot anyway, and I will welcome the cold, the wet.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, doing one of these in this kind of weather is different. You know, like, it will be almost like a holiday.
So the Arctic enema.
Oh my god, is that is that ice?
Up your bum by the sounds of it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I hope it's warm. So, what is it? July
the 6th.
July the 6th. If you
July the 5th and the 6th. I think we're booked on for the Saturday. So,
okay.
So it's actually the day after your birthday, is it?
Fantastic.
The 4th? Oh,
no, mine's the 8th.
Oh, that's okay. That's not. I was thinking, is your birthday the 4th? And then it's like, yeah, we're doing this now.
Oh, I'm excited. This is wicked. But if you want to join us, we'll let you know nearer the time so you can join us. And this is how, like, the U Club can evolve, right? And can take form. If you want to come and do crazy stuff with us, that Lindsay's chosen for us all to do.
Well, Kat's saying that she's going to do it, so that would be really cool.
Kat's as nuts as you are. What's Lou saying? That's what I want. That's my girl.
She stayed quiet. Me and Lou are doing a belly dancing course though, so
That
feel
sounds
free
very
to
fun.
join us on that.
I got belly.
Yeah, and I think Kat was keen to join us on that as well. That will be starting. I think it's the last week in Feb, or the second but last week in Feb. It's just the 6 weeks every Wednesday.
Oh,
6
wicked.
weeks.
No, yeah, I
So-
do want to join you. That sounds wicked.
We did a burlesque one last time, but it was 6 years ago. When we realised it was 6 years ago, we were like, oh my god, we need
Should
to
we do
get booked
something?
on. Yeah, we need to get on the belly dancing one.
Oh, I love that.
Um, We've got Bill and Anra. Hey!
Hello.
He's our peace education champion.
He's an absolute sweetheart. A great story. We'd love to have him on the podcast
Yeah.
so that you could hear his amazing story. Very
Very-
inspiring.
Very inspiring. I absolutely love those stories of turning your life around.
Those peace events are beautiful. Like, I strongly,
Yeah.
very cool.
We do want to run a peace education this year, don't we? It's like at some point we'll definitely get around to holding one for people to take part, because you can do it online or you can do it face to face. But if anybody ever gets the chance to do peace education program, do it. Oh yeah, he's saying he'll defo come on and chat with us, so that's very good.
That's how you do business. 2025 is looking good.
And then we've got you, Lou. Yes, come belly dancing. Keep your crazy course though. That's not my thing. Do you know what, Lou? Own that. I love it. Like, I'm sure if Steph had, sure she'd have been saying the same thing. Like, no, you keep that.
I think I'm realising I'm not as secure as Lewis, and I'm realising that Lewis just like, you know what, no, and I'm okay with that. And I'm like, okay.
No, I want to do it. I want to do it. I do want to do it.
I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it, but I don't want to do it.
Well, July is now. You've now got something new for July. Do you know what though? If you're worried about the running part, Couch to 5K, anybody, is what got me running. Look it up on the internet, the Couch to 5K.
What a great place to reflect and go through that journey.
Yeah, well, and the Couch to 5K is amazing because it has you running for like 30 seconds, then
And then you
walking
stop,
for
and then
2
you-
minutes, then
The
running.
hit workout again.
And it's so easy, as it were, that it doesn't put you off.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to the next bit, you're at that point because you've
So
been
agree.
following. Yeah, it's so good. And Lou will vouch for this. I could not run. I was always like, I'm not a runner. Got home yesterday, got changed into my stuff, went out for a run at 6 o'clock at night. So it's like, I'm not a runner, is a runner. I do
you know
actually
what?
really like running.
When we were skating and you were jogging, you know, running with it, you were keeping up. I was very impressed. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was like, I could not just be like, you know what, I'm going to start running and to keep up with some skates. I'd be like, I
Just run and keep running.
get about 12 steps in and be like, I can taste blood, I'm tired, okay.
But this is the thing, it's like, I was that person as well until I did the Couch to 5K. That's what got me started. And then I've done about 8 to 10 of these different races now over the years. So it's
Okay.
like, it got me on this pathway of like, I really like to run. And I
Yeah.
used to blame it on having short legs and everything. Like, I'm just
I
not a
have got
runner.
short legs.
Yeah.
They waddle, they don't run.
Yeah, these legs weren't made for running, but it turns out I actually really like running.
That sounds pretty speedy.
Oh, we've got Dean in the chat as well saying, love that bus.
Oh, it's a cool bus, right? It's awesome.
Gray, if you're still listening, Happy New Year to you too. He said Happy New Year a while ago, but we didn't get round to it.
Is that Gray?
Gray, yeah.
Happy New Year, Gray. I love that name.
Yeah, I do. It's very cool. One of my friend's child is called Grayson. So I
Oh,
wonder
very
if it's shortened or if it's just Gray.
Son of Gray.
And Mark saying that he definitely, genuinely means it when he says, you know, when I was talking about quite a lot of people saying that I'm an inspiration on the post. So thank you very much, my dude.
Shout out, Mark. Hope you've had a lovely New Year and Christmas.
That's the thing that I was. So Mark got in touch to say that the emails were bouncing back from the podcast email address. So
Yes.
I've just
I'm aware
remembered
of
that
this.
now.
I'm aware of this. I'm
No,
very
that's cool.
sorry.
I knew there was something itching in my mind. Like, what did you need to tell Steph? Like, you're going to remember it when she's gone home and be kicking yourself. But that was it. So
I'm aware. I'm in the. I'm either going to delete a load of videos
Yeah,
on the
just,
Google account or set up a new podcast. Not a new podcast cover. Set up a new email.
Yeah.
The latter one is the one I don't really want to do, so I will get to it.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's
thought
bothering
that
me.
it's just a space issue, isn't it? It's like,
Yes. So apologies to Mark and anyone who's tried to message us during the break.
If you do need an alternative email, lindzyadhd@outlook.com. You can alternatively send to that email. It's absolutely fine.
If you go to the website, is there
I think
a
it's
comment?
I think there's a message section. I think, but there's definitely my email at lindzyadhd@outlook.com listed anyway. So.
Or any of the Instagrams. If you message my personal Instagram, I might not see it.
So what other changes do we need to tell the good people about them?
Okay. Let's brace, because there's a bit of a change.
There's a change for the podcast, isn't there?
Yes,
this
podcast.
schedule.
The schedule. It's so it has been every week on a Thursday, 7 till 8. And now this is changing. It's going to sound like you're going to get less of us, but in reality, it's going to mean you get more of us.
Yeah.
Because our time is freed up. So what do Thursdays look like now every month? It's the first Thursday for members, for non-members,
yeah,
everyone.
So this is the first Thursday, and this will continue every first Thursday of the month.
This will be here every month. For members, that's Patreon and YouTube's memberships when that kicks in, hopefully when that kicks in. You will get a second episode a month.
Second live episode.
Second live. So that'll be on the second Thursday of every month. Third.
So the first.
I'm thinking of every other week. I'm terrible at this. I've written this all down in a thing. I can post it.
Yeah. So the first Thursday and the third Thursday, there will always be a live. But the first one will be public, free for all, and the second one on the third Thursday will be the invite only.
Yes. So you're welcome to come and watch it, and we would really like you too. But we want to find a way to give back to the people that
are supporting us.
Yeah, and you've been there every single time. So let's go and get a little special for you. Let's because we can talk about different things if it's a more of a private one. It's a little more. It's less reliant on the monetization aspect, and we can talk about certain things which is what we want to do, right?
Yeah, and it's only £1 a month upwards on our Patreon to support us, and you will then be included in that private additional live. And that is mainly because the weekly lives, we knew we had to reduce them, but we also didn't want to take away from those that are supporting us financially towards the mission of helping people by then suddenly taking away a load of lives. But we'll also be dropping more content, won't we, that's been pre-recorded, interviews, things like that.
Yeah, we wanted to make things, right? This idea of the best stories for me don't come from the celebrities that are already getting these podcasts and these deals and these getting to tell their stories. For me, I want to hear about the Harry Giorgios that are trying to make it early on in their career, and they're working hard and they can see the finish line. It's the Lindzeys working on her bus. It's the
Bill and Amras that have got the inspirational stories.
It's these people that I feel don't get highlighted enough in society, and we want to show these people. We want to show you these people because I think they help you realise, I can see myself in that person a lot better.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? It's those normal people that haven't got millions of pounds behind them or whatever,
or even free stuff being sent to them. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's like, just for example, my a family member is poorly with fibromyalgia, and the doctor said to them, "Oh well, just look at Lady Gaga. She copes." And it's like, Lady Gaga's not got to go to work 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. to earn money to pay her mortgage, and it's slightly. I get it. I'm sure Lady Gaga goes through her own pain and her own battles and all the rest of it. But for this person to then have to relate their story to that,
just the same. I get it now.
And it's similar with ADHD, isn't it? You see it in the classrooms. There's a lot of these celebrities also have ADHD, and it's great. Yeah. But it's but so's a hell of a lot of the population that are doing fantastic things, and they're the stories that we want to bring through those additional episodes. So it might even be that we're dropping 20-minute videos and things like that, but there'll be more variety.
More of us.
Because both of us like creating content, don't we? And it's these lives are great, they connect us directly to an audience, but they also take up a whole evening every week. So we're just gonna, but we're not afraid to keep trying new things. So it's if 6 months down the line we have to make adjustments again, we'll do that.
Yeah, it's a trial and error thing.
Yeah.
Add and take away. It's like a soup. I
don't
know if that makes any sense.
It's like a buffet.
You can't take the salt away, but I'm sure you can counterbalance it with something else. But as well as that, there is going to be there's still going to be lives.
Yeah.
It might just be me. Mondays and Wednesdays, I want to do. I've named it. It's got a name.
Oh, excited.
Untangled with Steph.
Oh,
And it's
that's
this
nice.
idea of untangling the mind and what's happening in society,
that's gorgeous,
unpacking
isn't
the
it?
realness about it, looking at different news sources, showing you how I get my boring ass opinions from journals.
Boring as a video.
Really like-
boring.
They could be boring, but
Hey,
I'm sure
we've just had a comment saying that the British accent makes everything sound so much smarter. So you
Oh,
know, you're
why-
sounding so
why didn't
smart.
you tell me that before? Oh my god, I didn't realise. I'm so sorry. Like, okay.
Go for it. Come on.
I sound like Pip then, don't I? That's what I felt like. And I'm so sorry. Yeah, so Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 in midday UK time. For at least an hour. It could be 2 hours. Hell, I could go nuts and we got 3 hours together. But it's a chance for you to come and untangle your mind with me, untangle society. You can ask me a question. We can just cover stuff. A very like chilled, relaxed, but this idea that you can, in the middle of the day,
Yeah.
come and talk to us and come and sometimes Lindsay might be there. There might be a day where she's
Yeah.
able to sign in and come and say hey, or like she's listening to it and she's like, let's just change what she's saying
I'll
right
just
now.
be tuning in, like, help me.
She's just told them that we're available on the second Thursday. I need to call in and be like, got that wrong.
Don't you think it's cool though that last year we introduced Lindsay Illuminates it, so we had illuminating it, and now
Yes.
we're untangling it.
This is what
Very
an art,
cool.
illuminated and tangled. I love this. That's so cool. Do you know what? When I made the graphic, I wanted a little light bulb, and I was like, oh wait, that's illuminates it. I can't have that. And the entangled, and I was like, it could kind of. And I was like,
You
no.
could have a light bulb that's being untangled though.
Untangled. Oh, in the. It's very fun. I'm excited. It's I wanted to contribute kind of like yours, but I was like, if I give myself more to edit, then I'm gonna get even more stressed. And I was like, right, I can try to do this. And this is why I don't know how long it will necessarily last. It might just be my lunchtime. If I don't have anything after that, then we can chill together until I do have a client or until, and I just think it'll be very a new thing to try. Hey, look, like I said, if it doesn't work out in a few months' time,
It's great though
We'll
because
scrap it.
the kind of point of these lives was to give people bespoke advice and answers, and so
Yeah.
people could get involved and ask things. And that's what you're going to be almost picking up the slack there with any, you know, we are reducing what we're doing live in the evenings, but actually we're going to be adding in way more lives
yeah,
elsewhere.
literally. It becomes that instant access, that block. And I feel like as much as we like doing that at 7 o'clock, we're getting a lot of US and Canadian watchers that are enjoying our material, our content or whatever, but we're not getting the people in the UK don't want to learn about self-care and helping themselves at 7 p.m. at night. So we're keeping the 7 p.m. for the normal podcasts every other Thursday.
Yeah.
That's going to stay the same. But this is to allow for people in the UK that could actually come and use our counselling services, like face-to-face if they want.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it means that if you are in America and Canada, you can catch up later.
And if there's a calling for it, then one of us will just have to start jumping on at midnight instead.
Look, if the demand is there, do you know what I mean? I'll be there.
Yeah.
It might be, but it also allows for us to not be quite as scheduled with things. Doing it every Thursday meant that there's certain things we couldn't go to do to film to show you because it would be on a Thursday, and I think it just frees us up a lot better to be able to, when there's a special event like a new moon that doesn't happen to land on a Thursday, so it doesn't
we can just
we can
chat.
still. So yeah,
You've had a question. Are you a therapist?
Oh.
She is.
don't look like it, do I? Yeah, I like. I am a therapist of the compassionate kind. I have been a therapist since 2020.
Yeah, so that's the answer to that question. But then also we've got Dean saying that when he was younger, he was constantly on the news and in the papers, etc., making vids before there was anything really to post content on, and that all stems from ADHD. I'm a somewhat normal Joe Blog that would like to chat, so that's cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love that. So where do they email? Lindsay?
Yeah, drop as well. I mean, I chat to Dean on Instagram. We're connected on that anyway. You're off to Goa soon, is that?
Oh wow!
Right.
My cousin is half going.
Oh really? Very
Yeah.
cool.
Very lovely food.
And then, so the question now, so you're a counsellor like a life coach? Well, the idea is that you are a therapist, but you're turning your skills and your experience into a life coaching type role. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a specialist teacher, and that's why we were doing these lives in the evening, because we've got a lot to offer in terms of professional based knowledge, but also personal experience, because we're both ADHD and autistic ourselves. But then Steph bringing that to the lives in the afternoons is going to give you instant access to a life coach, counsellor, therapist type role.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fantastic value.
Yeah, I think it is. I feel like it's something I want to be doing.
Yeah.
The alternative for my job right now, it doesn't fulfill me quite as much. And the idea of being able to broadcast it, and even if I can't help you exactly in that moment, I can say, look, I can go away and find out more about that and come back to you with some information. / do you know who will give you a really good information about that? Let me send you to them.
Well, signposting is another thing that we really want to be the people. Like,
Yeah.
we're the one-stop shop for trying to find the answers to unlock your brain. If we can't help you, we'll find somebody who can.
Yeah, there's the areas like that we specialise in, that we have interest in, but we can't cover all of it, nor do I want to. There's certain elements of therapy that I'm not really, I don't generally work with young children, although I know in theory I don't really work with them.
Yeah.
However, I know plenty of people that do work with children. Lindzi's fantastic with children in terms of educating and teaching and understanding the psychology of them, so
yeah,
I've generally got it covered.
And the thing is, our services will be going onto our website as well, so you can book in with us on a paid format, but this is going to be something that we're offering for free. And with the waiting list being so massive, that's all we're trying. It keeps being reported on the news. Oh, the waiting list, and there's no one offering help. We are offering this help, so please do share what we're doing with people, because that's been the most frustrating thing, is feeling like we've just not found that broad audience of people realising that every week we were going live, we were available to ask these questions for. Have you ever read The Good Psychopath?
The Good Psychopath. Why does it ring a bell? Oh, my phone's running the thing. The Good Psychopath.
No, I don't think I have. I've got The Psychopath Test, as in it's a book. That's really good. Why? Tell us about that. The Good Psychopath. Is it a fiction or is it a fact book? My goodness, as it happens, I'm an organisational psychologist working in HR.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Working in HR. I'm amazed to feel that your HR has psychology involved in it.
That's cool. That's good though, isn't it? Because I remember getting pulled in for a chat with HR when I was working at a college, and they were basically just investigating if I was a risk of leaving on the sick, because I was on a really highly stressful job. but no, that sounds really positive. And please, do refer people to our YouTube channel. There's loads and loads. I think there's nearly 200 episodes that are in the back catalogue covering all sorts of different topics. And one of the other changes that we're going to be doing is, at the minute, we offer everything for free on our shop. So get in there quick before that changes, because that is going to change this year, because we've always offered everything for free or for a small cost. The idea with that was that we don't think cost should be a barrier, but we don't get any funding from anywhere or anything like that. That was just sheer us wanting to give. So what we're going to have to do is change it so that the small fee is constant, but if anybody is experiencing hardship, then we can send the documents for free. So it is going to change slightly, the access to that. But for the time being, all the guides and books that talk about ADHD and anxiety and things like that, the digital copies are all still available for free in our shop, but we will be changing that in the near future.
Getting quick.
Yeah, so getting
Martin Lewis advice.
Our community club that we were doing every single month, we've scrapped that as a community club that we're doing physically ourselves, but we're up in the signposting aspect, so that in our local area there's the Wild Women. I think, here we go, I've got that calendar. Fantastic. These meet every single week on Tuesday in our local area, so you've got these doing weekly meetings. You've got the Brotherhood and the Sisterhood that are also Leicestershire that do monthly meetings, I think it is. You've got Running with Tom that does 3 times a week meetings. So these are all going to be going on to it. So instead of us having to facilitate it on top of everything else that we're doing, we're just going to be kind of we're going to be going and trying out all these things so people can join us.
Yeah.
But we're going to be making sure that we're highlighting safe spaces that we've found. You've also got like the afters that do. They're more like, Manchester kind of based, but they do like lots of walks and get-togethers and things like that. So
through doing festivals and going travelling this last few years or whatever, we've seen so many people across the UK that are offering similar fantastic services. So it's just a case of, you know, we're not hogging them. We don't gatekeep. We want everyone to be happy and thrive. And
I think that's been the hardest thing with this whole platform, is trying to get across to people that there is no catch. We are just
it's hard, isn't it? Because you're like, are you a therapist? And it's like, yeah, I realise I stutter after every sentence, but that's because I'm online. That's because I'm very aware I'm talking to a camera that is being live streamed everywhere. The other part is I have ADHD and my memory's not that good, so every so often I will go, what was I talking about? And I do that in therapy as well. That's not but like, I have to be very honest in those times, but I think we look at us, don't we? Like, she's a teacher, she's a therapist.
Well, I'm not a traditional teacher by all means.
It's part of it. It's part of the...
that's what makes us so successful,
charm, right?
Yeah. It's like, certainly in the classroom, the reason I get the results I do is because I march on in there and the kids are like, she's the teacher. They're a little bit scared of me.
Yeah.
It's like the apprehension of like, you're going to let this woman loose.
I get the same. The first session with anyone, I can see them just looking at my lip piercings.
My
Every
hand
time.
tattoos is always the thing where it's like, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
I promise you I'm a nice person and I'm quite clever. I'll be helping you, I promise you, I promise.
The Good Psychopath book sounds really cool. It says it's interesting, it's facts and studies. Example, a bad psychopath could break into a home, rob an old woman and not feel any emotion around it. The good psychopath, according to the book, is someone who would say stand up in court and defend a killer and can switch off to provide for his family. So I suppose it's using those psychopathic traits, but
I think I don't know how fully I agree with that take, with just the...
Well, it's not. He's not saying it is. That's what the book's about.
I'm not saying that. The idea of the book,
but it just says it goes into how
with peace and love, a psychopath is just a set of traits that are negative, and they range from moderate to severe.
Yeah. Well, it says it goes into how people who can switch off emotion, free will, are more evolved. Which, that is fascinating, because me and my friend always used to talk about our switches, but this is before we understood we were ADHD and autistic, and I think it all kind of comes under that umbrella that we get to a certain point, we go from caring so much to it's like flip a switch and we're done. Yeah. There's no more emotion around it. But I'm not sure whether I can necessarily choose to flip that switch. It's like the switch flips and then there's nothing I can do about it. It's like,
I see what you mean.
You know.
I'm trying to think of that example like this, and maybe it's just one example that I'm struggling to connect with, but the idea of a defence lawyer defending a murderer, for example. I've got that part of me where I could explain to you why I think we need to provide better care for paedophiles. And if I say that, generally the whole room looks at me and thinks, you're fucking disgusting, how dare you? But it's because I can switch off the emotional part. I don't personally have any children, so that part is very easy for me. And I can see past the horribleness, the bit that we struggle to look at, to understand the reason it's there and how do we alleviate this like from the root cause, rather than it's too late, the child is already harmed. And some people don't even want to listen to me finish that statement or what I mean by that. They will just close off, and that is, you know, a strong parent, someone that's experienced their own trauma, that don't want to listen to what I have to say, and I fully understand that.
But that's almost... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, that's not a part of me being a good psychopath.
Yeah,
it's a part of me being able to differentiate between logically and... Maybe.
But it's almost like some of my students, we talk about the fact that they're not very empathetic. You know, they could cause harm to somebody and not feel that pain themselves. So I would say to we perhaps should make a fantastic paramedic, you know, someone that can turn up to the scene where somebody is hurt and not, I'd be like, oh God, you know, that looks so painful, and be feeling it.
A criminal investigator, these people that can go into a crime scene and literally they see a couch with a hole in it and they have to figure it out, because if they, for a minute, see the body and relate it to that as the body, they struggle with their job. So just being able to
compartmentalise it kind of thing. Well, this is playing to your strengths, isn't it? Which again is something that we're trying to highlight to people that, you know, I've always been here, there, and everywhere, but I've built my life up around that kind of thing, so that it is a success.
Yeah.
So we've got Shorts MD. I'm surprised you're sufficiently still to just sit there and talk to us, considering I'm not sure. Does it mean because we're ADHD that we're not running around? Maybe.
My so I'm forgot the word. That's hilarious.
What, your hyperactivity is internalised?
Yes.
There we go. See how I knew what she was going to say.
I never remember the type of ADHD I am. For some reason, that word, and it's to do with focus. It's to do with inattentiveness.
Yeah.
That I go to write it, and I always put two N's, and I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with me? It's the two, like, yeah, my hyperactivity exists just in my brain.
Yeah, I'm quite physically hyper a lot of the time, but then I think over talking is a real female hyperactivity trait.
Yeah.
So this is perfect for me.
Yeah,
Sat here
expect
chatting, it's like great.
When you really fine tune yourself to the conversation, we're going around the house talking about. We probably started a subject a second ago and never finished it,
and usually as well, like
charm.
when I watch back, I'm all over the place. It's like I fidget quite a lot. We talk with our hands, you know.
I do weird things with my mouth that I didn't realise until I watched them back, and I'm like, I didn't need to know that I do that. Like, the complexes you give yourself.
Yeah, considering your ADHD. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answers that a little bit. And plus, I have been physically very active all day today, which I do find does help with the kind of moving about and stuff like that.
So parents with ADHD kids, if you think you can just tire your kid out and then when it comes to night time they'll be ready for bed, we're wrong, aren't we? It's not happening. You've just fueled the fire. Let's go.
Plus, I've found as I've got older, my hyperactivity's definitely become more internalised than I'm 38 this year, so it's like, you know, when I was 28, I was a lot more physically hyper to what I am now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then we've also got about the switching. Dean's agreeing, saying he's going through some like stuff in his personal life at the minute, and he can feel the switch just flicking, and it's beyond his control.
It must feel like the ground's kind of moving beneath you, right? Like, what do you do in that moment? Is it?
Well, it's very much like, it's like usually around relationships and stuff like that. Like, someone can push you and push you and push you, and you'll keep bouncing back because you really love them and you really care, and then all of a sudden the switch is gone and you're done with it, and then that person's like, oh right, yeah, what, you really loved me, did you? Well, you can't have, else you wouldn't. It's like, no, trust me, I did. Like, I did really love you, but now that switch is done, it's done. Like, I'm on to the next thing, which me and my friend always used to say, it was we quite liked that about the way our emotions worked, because it did allow us to just go, nah, enough is enough, I'm not even going to give that my time and energy anymore.
Yeah. It's about that penny dropping, isn't it? And no one can tell you, hey, drop that penny. Like, it needs to drop on its own for you to be like, oh, okay, that's a lesson I've learned.
Dean said, I've competed in 91 bouts of boxing too, and although my opponent...
You can pee in what?
Competed in 91 bouts of boxing.
So you're peeing in boxes. That's incredible though. Now I actually know what the
that
sentence
is
is.
really, really cool. I can mentally take myself somewhere to inflict pain on someone to get the win, and as soon as the fight's over, it all goes away. This is the thing. There's a lot behind boxing, and they're like mentally that you don't kind of appreciate.
It's kind of that you need. The eye of a good soldier is that desensitization. You can turn it off, but also being able to turn it back on when you need to. When people are going, no, that is, you know, that's our own people. That's not the enemy. That's whatever. That you need to be able to stop it. Same as boxing. The bell goes, you can't keep laying into them.
Well, it's like there's that discipline, isn't there, to it? You know, again,
Control,
working with young people, and I always try to explain to them, if someone's genuinely, you know, an MMA fighter or whatever, they're not going to be street scrapping. They've got a level of discipline and professionalism about them that means that they're not fighting because they've lost their temper. They're fighting because they've chosen. I don't know. It's a controlled thing. It's like discipline. And then we've had an interesting question as well about, have you guys been diagnosed by a mental health professional?
Okay.
And I'm saying that because a lot of people just self-diagnose based on whatever they pick up on the internet. But that
Okay.
is a really
Yeah,
fascinating
great.
take on it, isn't it?
I love that, and I feel like we've not been asked that for a really long time. And I'm
yeah.
excited to. So there's two parts to that, isn't there?
Yeah.
What was the first bit? Because you know you girls forgot.
Have you been diagnosed?
Yeah. So to just put that clearly, my diagnosis, yes. Lindsay's,
No.
no. When it comes to self-diagnosing, are we against it?
No.
Not at all. The way that I see it is if you're watching TikToks and you're like, I relate to that. Oh my God, I relate to that. Do I have ADHD? And you like, I want to find out more about this. I would much rather you tuned into our content while you're waiting for your assessment, if that's what you want to do, because you don't need to wait to get help, information,
That's the
psychoeducation. You might talk to us or be in one of these chats and realise, oh wait, it sounds like ADHD. Maybe it's autism. Maybe it's OCD. Maybe it's nothing of this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just really going through it
Maybe
right now
I'm
and
just a good psychopath.
yeah, maybe I'm a good psychopath. Maybe I'm too heavy on the cocaine. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it takes a bit of reflection to get to these things.
Yeah.
So if you're in the chat right now thinking you have ADHD and you don't, am I worried? No. If you're going to a doctor's and getting medication for something that you don't have, that's where I worry for you. But to get to that point, no good psychiatrist is going to diagnose you without that. They're very sure. And if you need a second opinion, if the rare cases this does happen, then please do.
You were diagnosed in your like early 20s though, weren't you? Was it?
21.
So it was like too late for it to help you in school, but early enough that you're like a lot of what we hear is like women my age suddenly realising, oh my God, this explains everything.
No, definitely. So I've always known my moods to be like this, and people called me bipolar my whole life. And eventually it stopped me doing well in school. I just felt stupid. And again, thought this was bipolar. I thought this was just my moods getting in the way of me being able to function at school.
Which is really common for females to get misdiagnosed with bipolar, by the way.
Very common. The second one is relationships. I was finding any kind of escape and fun in life just by being with any dude I could to get away from my actual life. Doing risky things with friends that people I thought were friends, and all these things came from me having this unreal view of myself, this inaccurate view that I'm stupid, not lovable, not worthy. And then I got my diagnosis at 21, and I was like, it makes sense. Half of me went, oh, this makes sense, and the half of me went, I'm so mad that this wasn't found earlier.
Which is where I'm now at, because I've been working in the arena since I was like 25, and I just used to think, God, I used to be ADHD, and that's why I'm so good with these kids. Because when I was like 15 years ago, there still wasn't the talk about adult ADHD. It was only really in the last 5 years that I was like, oh, I'm still ADHD, you know, and then all this adult ADHD stuff has just absolutely blown up, and it's like, oh my God, you know, it's not something you leave in childhood, it's something that's gonna impact you for the rest of your life.
Definitely.
But the point that we're trying to make is that you don't have to, because I've been on the waiting list for like, what, 3.5 years?
Yeah.
3.5 years.
You're on the small end of the wait. Like, people have been waiting, what, 10, 12
imagine,
years?
Imagine if I'd waited 3.5 years to actually help myself. In that time, I've given up alcohol, I've given up nicotine, like, I've started cold water therapy, I've started breath work, and all these things together have helped me manage my traits and my symptoms so much better. So that's why we started this podcast, was a way of information sharing, so that people...
You can combat the crap that is on TikTok, because don't worry, if that's what you're commenting about, we understand. Like, oh, shiny object, I get distracted too, I have ADHD. Like, oh, I just need to have everything clean, I'm a bit OCD. We understand that this does exist. However, even if that video makes someone question, like, oh wait, is there something that can explain what I've been feeling and feeling terrible about? Then even that video, whatever, go for it. Shiny things, ooh.
Squirrels.
No, really, where?
So Dean's saying about the boxing, when people are shouting and kicking off, it's usually because they don't want conflict. Much like when animals puff themselves up bigger so that no one's going to mess with them. Yeah, I see a hell of a lot of that in my classroom. You know, when the students are like scared is when they kick off. It's like, what is it, the loud barking dog or whatever.
Yeah, if you look at the last episode with we were dressed as elves, that fight that happened in Leicester that we managed to catch, like you can see they're not, no one's stopping them get to each other, but they're yelling from each side, saying the worst things, threatening in the worst way, showing weapons, but they're still nowhere near each other. It was like, just one of you take a step, and the other one would go, oh my god, no.
Yeah, like totally not.
So in fact, a woman came out of her shop and took a board sign that they just chucked and was like, get out of the way. So she wasn't even scared.
She wasn't scared. Shorts MD, I don't believe what I'm hearing, my goodness. Picking up stuff over the internet or listening to people's opinions in regards to your mental health is definitely the worst thing one can do. Indeed.
What, sorry? Oh my goodness.
I don't really know what that was relating to, but... but yeah, that.
Listen, picking up stuff over the internet or listening to people's opinions, and I don't think it's the worst thing you can do. I think there's way worse things you can do. You're welcome to your opinion.
But I can appreciate the fact that you're trying to raise awareness for people to get help. Well, that is all we are doing. That is literally all we are doing. So you've picked up on what we're trying to do there.
Thank you very much, Cindy.
And we've got the question: do you love Cristiano Ronaldo?
I like that question more than...
That is such a random question.
You know what? Yeah, why not? When he moved that Coca-Cola out of the thing and put the water there, that was pretty badass. I like that.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I had a picture of him glued on my diary. So, but this was like years and years ago.
I always preferred, was his name Fernando Torres? He was a Spanish player. He had blonde curtains. Nice.
So we have come to, well, it's actually 8:05. Look at that. We started on time.
That's crazy.
And we've ran over. So that's absolutely fantastic. Please do hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel because, like I say, there's going to be loads of new fascinating things this year.
And we're here spreading awareness.
As always.
In case it was misunderstood. We're not formally giving diagnoses or anything like that.
Yeah, we're just trying to help anybody that's suffering with their mental health or suffering, feeling like they're different and not accepted.
I don't know if it's like people understand this, but as a psychotherapist, I do not diagnose, nor do I need necessarily to understand your mental health diagnosis. If you come to me with an issue, a set of symptoms, I deal with you face value.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking to myself, like, it doesn't really matter, like, what somebody's what diagnosis is or what they think or anything. It's just more about like trying to help somebody fit in, trying to help them have a successful life, a happy life.
And as a therapist, if you don't get your help through therapy and you get it through praying, do what you do. I'm open to it. Do whatever you love.
Kat says, fantastic show, ladies.
Thank you very much, Kat. I love you very much.
It's been fabulous having everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for coming on because it definitely gives us something to kind of bounce off when we've got people.
Shout out to the new peeps.
Yeah, hopefully you will join us again. So this public live will be available again the first Thursday of February. But for all of our Patreon supporters, we will be in touch with a link.
Yes. Yeah, whatever way that you're subscribed, whether it's the Patreon or the YouTube, you'll get an email, a link somehow sent to you, which will be much closer to the time.
Yeah, so not next Thursday, the Thursday after.
But next Monday is the start of Untangled with Steph, where you can literally send me a ridiculous TikTok and we can analyse it ourselves. We can go through what's ridiculous about it, what we shouldn't listen, and what is a better way of looking at this. We can do it together. That's just one of the many things we can do. I'm excited.
My mum said she watched a programme called 100 Most Watched TikToks. So that sounded quite cool.
100 Most Watched TikToks?
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued.
I was like, am I on there? Oh, Shorts MD. I get it. Like group therapy, you're encouraging people to open up and talk.
You're a babe, Shorts MD.
That is the idea. I'm definitely giving you a live stream a like. Thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. The more the more that we get people interacting with the episodes, the more they appear on people's For You page. So
Hit that algorithm going.
Yes, please do.
I love that. Well, let's not keep the people waiting any longer. I'm sure you've got the rest of your night/day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, certainly. And keep an eye on our socials because we'll be sharing more bus updates soon when I move into this fantastic vessel. Ooh!
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, this is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We're a different human design.
And this is a different podcast. Good night.
We've even got an outro. Did you know that? Still awkwardly on you.
I feel like a news reporter, I know, with it.